I missed a few, but we're using Doceri. I'm actually going to share this Doceri recording as part of this Camtasia recording, or kind of that presentation recording. Note to self, remember. Okay. So if you're going through your iPad alone, the next screen you're going to see actually is your projects that you have on your iPad. So one of the things about that is if you kind of use Doceri a lot, you're going to want to kind of delete projects as you go, you know. So I'm going to click on that plus sign. Okay, and when you click on that plus sign, I'm going to show you kind of the next screen you get to. But here's my little reminder. Actually, I assembled this Doceri project ahead of time, so I can kind of unfold it here for you, just like we would do ahead of time for our students and kind of unfold it in front of our students. That's one way to use Doceri. The other is on the fly, which works great too. Here's my little note to self is that, so say for instance, I'm like, I did this at home, but I know that I want to add something. My point here is that I can insert the number 1, you kind of see that building there, the number 2, and the number 3. Okay, so kind of a live project you can add as you go, which makes sense. All right, so on to the next page. So one thing about Doceri that I need to remember, and I might review this for myself, is actually kind of along the timeline. So you can kind of see that little gray, it looks like little steps. If you click that, or if you pull that down for Doceri, you can get the timeline, okay? I'm going to show you some cool things about the timeline, okay? You know how it's kind of unfolding, you know, it's kind of got the red blah blah blah, it's got the different red or whatever, kind of the writing that I've done ahead of time. Well, if I wanted that to go faster, I take that slider and I go over here. Okay, if I want it to slow down, I take the slider and I go the other direction. So that little clock right there can tell you how fast you want Doceri to unfold. Okay. The other thing, I mentioned kind of these hard stops. Actually, if you're composing a project and you're like, hey, that's where I want to stop, want to pause, then actually you click this button. If you have added a hard stop and you want it to go away, then you click that other button. Okay, so, and probably not so surprising, kind of that green line above on the top there actually is the timeline. And so when you add a hard stop, you'll have a little red button. Okay, those little blue things, which I didn't realize what they were, but if part of your project you have added a picture, like I did on the first slide, kind of a screenshot, a couple of screenshots, those would be like little blue spiky things on your timeline. So there you go, learn something new every day. So Doceri is playing each of these segments, okay, and I'm talking, which I think works pretty well because students don't have to look at you. They can kind of see what you drew as part of your project if you kind of choose to do this ahead of time. So to go to each next hard stop, I'm clicking on that button you see over there on the right. Okay. There are a few other buttons, and these are where, and I'm going to save this as a PDF, so actually I'm going to take the screenshot and post it with this other presentation so that you can have it handy if you want to. But that little button over there that has kind of the, looks like reverse with the little red thing, that actually will let you go back a segment. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate. This is my live. I'm going to click that and it's going to go back a segment. Did you see where that is? Okay, so I'm going to click forward. All right. So that will go back a segment. You can relive it. Go on the next segment. To fast forward, I think I'm going to go ahead and, by the way, on my live version, I'm going to make it go faster. Okay. Okay, so next time you see it writing, it's going to go faster. So say you want to go forward to the next segment. This will do it for you. Now, this other one over here. That would be skipping a segment, wouldn't it? Okay, so let me go back. I'm going to go back a couple segments. The keyboard keeps showing up. Okay, so I'm playing. Does it look faster? Oh, go even faster. Ooh. All right, we did that one. Go to the next segment. Go to the next segment. Okay. Now I'm going to click this button up here. Okay. Oh, I see. So it didn't build. It just went fast through. That makes sense. All right. And then a few other buttons. These buttons up here, oh, they're very handy. They're kind of the subtle, they're the step by step by step. In other words, like if you have a stroke and, you know, not a stroke, but if when you're drawing things, if you want to go back a few strokes, that will do it for you. So for instance, I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. Let me go back a few strokes. Okay, notice I'm just clicking it so you can kind of fine tune where you want to go. Now I'm going to click that that red button to just, okay, this one up here. The one that fast forwards through a segment. Okay, just a few more buttons on the side there. And to me, and I don't know if it's just me, I'll go ahead and fast forward this. Okay, I don't know if it's just me, but there's almost too many buttons up there. So this one over here will go back to the end of the previous page. Oh, that's a page. And this one will go forward to the end of the next page. Okay, so in other words, I'm going to click the purple one, okay, and notice we went, just like it said, back to the end of the previous page. I'm going to click the other one, okay, and notice, very good, we went to the end of the next page. Almost done, because then there's all sorts of little drawing things up there I want to talk about. So I'm going to go on to the next page, which I'm going to click the little green in there. All right. So the screenshots that I had at the first page, or any sort of photo you want to get or whatever, you click this insert photo from, and the only thing is, and I don't know if this will ever change, but you can only have access to photos that are in your photo album on your iPad, because I really like Dropbox and all that stuff, so that's not there right now. Let me see. The next one is I've kind of circled all of those tools up there, and when you click on any of those boxes, so wow, there's like, do you see 6 boxes? Any of those 6 boxes, you'll come up with that little box right there. And this gets a little bit small. So, and the way it works, and I didn't realize this until I started looking into it, but you can customize those 6 boxes with any of the tools. And the tools are kind of like drawing, kind of painting, spray painting, highlighting, squares, circles. Okay, those you get to pick, and you can have them as like a quick snap, a quick up there. So that's a thought. And of course we have our eraser, and you can click on the eraser and you can adjust the width. Okay, these are handy, kind of the little tornado looking things. Actually, if you're creating a project and you're like, oh, I didn't want that stroke, then what you want to do is, if it's the last one you did, just go ahead and click the back arrow. And if you're like, oh, I want that back again, you click the forward arrow. Okay. So one of the things that took me just a little bit to understand is that if I'm creating a project and I grab the eraser, I'm like, I didn't want that, so I use the eraser to make it gone. Actually, within my project, it will show it created, and then it will show me erasing it. Okay, versus this will actually undo it like it's not part of your project. So, this one will clear the slide, which we don't necessarily want to do right now. But if you're using it on the fly, I think that would be a good thing. Although, to me, clearing the slide is not as good an option probably as to going on to the next page. If you go on to a next page, then actually you can use it as a mimeo. So basically, if you kind of do cool stuff for the students, next page, do cool stuff for the students, you can wrap this up, and I'm going to show you in a minute how you can send this out as a PDF to students. That's kind of fun. Okay, so in Apple stuff, they have kind of that settings button up there, and when you open that settings button, I think it might be a little small, but you can see under settings you have purchases, an option for styluses, which I don't have anything fancy, but I like these little metal styluses. It says drawings, managed shared services, etc. Just to highlight a few of those that I use, under drawings, I had to double check. Okay, so you're just gonna have to play around with it. It's really no big deal. But when you if you're using Doceri, like the free version, then actually there's a kind of a box down there with little kind of checks. That actually will be a watermark, a Doceri watermark that you have to go with. So everything that you create will have Doceri watermark. Now, you can actually create a custom watermark that will show up on all of your work. And I did that for a while because I just think that's cool. But what I found was that it was in the wrong spot for my, it covered up my stuff. Okay, so that's kind of an idea there. Now, the fourth one down under settings is manage shared services, and I actually use this a fair bit. I'm a person right now who, when it comes time to taking a video that I want to push out to students, I use my YouTube account. And so I've got a YouTube account for my different classes, different YouTube accounts for my different classes. So what I need to do actually is under anytime I have a particular class, I go here, I hit the YouTube, I log out and log back in if I need to a particular class. So once you're logged into your YouTube account, here in a minute when I show you how to export your videos, then it automatically shakes hands. Under then general settings, we have some options. I'm sure this is getting very small for you, but these are where you can actually do some different things with your export video. Okay, different options of sharing your Doceri when you use AirPlay, whether it's the live or I don't know. So just take a look at it. Okay. So now I am changed from the settings button. Now I am over to the little square with the arrow coming out. And that, as you might recognize if you've done much with, I know Apple does it. I don't know if other folks do it, but that's your share button. So when you click on your share button, I've kind of have a screenshot of what you're going to see. So your share button, your options are, by the way, share is not at this point to share your video. Share is to share your drawings. So you can share the current image, okay, or you can share as a PDF. And I've kind of highlighted share as a PDF because, for instance, we have 3 pages worth of Doceri stuff now. And if I want to share each page as a PDF file with 3 pages, that's what you need to click on. And I will. I'll make that available. Okay. And I usually go at each slide instead of each stop. That would be a lot of slides. Okay. So now I've kind of revealed at the bottom there is what your options are when you go to share it as a PDF. So notice what I've gotten in the habit of doing is actually I kind of scroll over and I'm going to share my PDF under my Dropbox. I mentioned Dropbox. I'm kind of one of those sort of people. You're going to have some way to catch your PDF, and that's just one way. Dropbox is a great product that you can have on your iPad, you can have on your PC, you can have on anything, any mobile device. Okay, so I usually click on Dropbox, and that might, I don't know if that's about it. Oh, no. Oops, let me go back. Wonder if I, okay. So then hopefully you're okay with your PDF and you can grab it from your Dropbox. Actually, I've been using my Dropbox to push it out to my Twitter feed, which is a whole nother thing. I'm like, oh, that's kind of fun for my students. All right. So that was the hard copy. Now this is the video, which I'm recording, and interestingly enough, I'm going to share the video of this and the video of this. Okay. So to share the video, you're going to go into recordings. This took me a little while. I'm not sure why, but you're going to click on your recording tab, and then you're going to see you can start a new recording, or you're going to look at the recordings you've already captured. Okay, right now, before we started this pretty much, I clicked on start recording, so I'm recording. But to push out your projects, okay, you are going to want to click on my recordings. Okay, and then your recordings will look like this. Notice I've got 3 little boxes there, 3 different recordings, and I've got it kind of all unfolded there. But basically what you do is you drag, and it will remind you. You're like, how do I get my recordings? Well, drag it into, and I mentioned YouTube, so I usually drag mine into YouTube, and I already told you I kind of have the account set up, and it goes ahead and pushes that out to YouTube. It's so very fun. Notice that there are some other options. You can, after you have it on YouTube perhaps, go ahead and drag it down to the trash. Okay, above the trash can there's settings. You can like, oh, I want to go ahead and take this recording and change its settings. You can do that. Notice that there are a couple other share options there, but I usually do mine to YouTube. And I think, is that it? Oh, there's one more. Okay, so that was recordings. Now, To start this project, remember I said it's off the iPad, and everything's on the iPad, whether you're going through the computer, the PC or not, it's on the iPad in the folders button. So under the folders I had something called Show Doceri, okay? And so that actually has all of your little projects that you may have worked on at home. Again, you can kind of draw and kind of reveal it to students, kind of the way I've done with this Showing Doceri. Is that it? Okay.